y'all, welcome back. So today's video is going to be the long-awaited review / demo on this NYX Total Control Drop Foundation. I've mentioned this in quite a few videos and I've used this in quite a few videos, and I finally got the time to make a review on it, which I wanted to do, and I actually filmed a first impressions, but that just went so bad. So we're starting over with a review. And I've been using this for a couple of weeks now, so I feel like I have a pretty good idea of how it is, because sometimes first impressions can be a little misleading. You like it at first and then you don't like it, and vice versa. So this is, I feel like, just way more accurate. So enough chit chat, let's just jump right into the review. So I want to start off with some general information about the foundation. So on the NYX Cosmetics website, it retails for $14. And it says there are 24 shades, which is awesome, because I know some cosmetic companies have like 3 or 4 shades. That's an exaggeration, but they don't have many. But this is awesome that this has 24 shades. I feel like if you're very pale like me or really dark skinned, there's going to be a shade for you, which is amazing. And the description on the NYX website says that it's a sheer to full coverage. You can fine tune this velvety matte foundation with the dropper. Simply adjust the number of drops until you create the look that you're feeling today. And if you want more coverage, just add more drops. So I totally agree with that claim. That is basically the gist of the foundation. It's a little different than a foundation that I've ever used before. So if you're not familiar with this, it does have a dropper, hence the name Drop Foundation. But basically you just kind of squeeze and then the foundation comes out. I don't know if you can see that, but that's really cool. I've never had a foundation that is like this, so it's really different and fun to experiment with. One thing that I was having trouble with in my first impressions was the drops, like the number of drops to use, or like how big a drop is. And I think it just depends on your personal preference. So during my first impressions, I was doing like that, like just a little tiny drop, and I was getting no coverage, which makes sense. I mean, it's like barely any foundation. And I was like, well, let me get 4 of these little extra tiny drops, and it was just like not working for me. And I was like, I don't like this foundation, but I had to keep trying it, and I think I figured out what I like my drop size to be, and it's basically just like half of this like pump, if that makes sense, like half of a squeeze. And I don't even use a full squeeze, and I do it on pretty much my whole face, and then if I want more coverage, I will go back in. So let's just go ahead and roll the demo, which will be right beside me somewhere. So you can see from the demo how well it covers. And again, that's just like half of a pump size. And it just, like I showed you side-by-side comparison, it just looks really nice. And I know it kind of looks really white on one side, but that is the color that I am. It's just, my face is really red from the medicine, so it kind of looks a little off, but trust me, it is my shade. So the shade that I'm in is in the shade Vanilla, and I think this is like, I don't know, the first couple of shades. I mean, it's really pale, but I really feel like this is a perfect match for me, which is kind of hard right now because I am so pale, but the fact that they have one that matches me perfectly is another pro to me. Some other things that I like about this foundation, which you can kind of see in the demo, is that it's very easy to apply. I mean, it just goes right over the face very quickly, saves time. Love that about it. Like I said earlier, it is blendable. I do go back in the demo and just go back in places that I feel like I need just a little bit more. So don't worry about being cakey. It's not going to get that way. And I feel like the longer that it sits on my skin, the more that it looks better. So I love when foundations do that and they don't oxidize or anything. They just look better than when you applied them to begin with. So love that about it. And I think that it has like a satin matte finish. I wouldn't say it's completely matte, which they didn't say that on their website. But I do enjoy that because, like I said, I have dry skin now and I do not really want a matte face anymore because I feel like it just makes me look even more dry. So this finish is right on par with what I'm wanting. And I feel like it sets pretty fast. I mean, when I, like before I even set it, it just feels like powder already. It feels like you've already set it with your favorite setting powder. So I really like that about it. If you have extra dry skin, you don't even have to set it at all, which is amazing. But I'm just in the habit of setting my face so much that I feel naked if I don't. Like, I feel like something's wrong. One of the biggest things that I love about this foundation is I feel like it's super long wearing. I've worn this foundation for many hours. I can't even tell you, like, I don't know, 9-10 hours, and it's still there. It's still flawless. There's no pores. There's nothing. Like, it's just so nice. You can clearly see the bronzer and blush, highlighter, anything that you put on still on your face. It doesn't transfer. It just looks so nice, and I love that about this foundation. This is like my #1 foundation right now. But I do have one con for this foundation, and it is that it settles in my fine lines. Granted, I do have this problem with a lot of foundations. They always settle into my smile lines, which is really annoying. But this one I feel like settles more into my forehead lines, which is kind of weird. Like, I know I have them, but like this foundation kind of makes them kind of like more enhanced, which I don't like. But sometimes if I catch them in time before I like finish my makeup, I'll just blend it out just with a brush or something, and most of the time it gets all the way out. But when I do my mascara and stuff, I'm like constantly raising my eyebrows, so I think that kind of like makes it worse. But yeah, that's the only like con that I've found of this foundation. Other than that, I really love it. And I feel like this was a really quick review, but I've been talking about it in my other videos. I just wanted to do like a formal review and kind of give all my thoughts together into one video. Let me know if you have any other questions about this foundation. I'll be glad to answer them for you down in the comments. You can message me, whatever you want to do. All my social media is always in the description box. Just scroll down past all the other stuff and they'll be there. And as always, don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you found it helpful and enjoyed it, and hopefully you're gonna go pick this up because it's definitely worth the try, definitely worth the money. So go get it now if you haven't already. And I don't think I have anything else to say, so I will see y'all in my next video. Bye, y'all.